Hello friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 13th of January and on this day, I wish every one of you and your family members a very happy Lodi. So today we are going to deal with two very important topics which are in news. First is the Southern California wildfires. These wildfires are becoming uncontrollable. These wildfires have been caused due to three factors. First factor is a dry winter, which is followed by two preceding wet winters. The two preceding wet winters, enabled growth of a lot of vegetation, which is acting like fuel now in this dry winter for these wildfires. Second is climate change or global warming. Third is the local Santa Ana winds, which blow from east to west, which are intensifying the spread of these wildfires. The pink fire retardants are also being used for controlling these wildfires, but yes, their effectivity is a big question. The water cannons are running out of water, but this wildfire is not stopping. Many celebrities have lost their homes, many people have died also. But yes, these kind of natural disasters definitely are a big threat to mankind. And yes, climate change is one of the contributing factors of these disasters. Second is silver notice of the Interpol. Now, Interpol issues various color coded notices, red notice, blue notice, yellow notice, and such like. A new notice has been introduced, a new color coded notice has been introduced, that is silver notice. The silver notice is basically aimed for sharing information, particularly financial information of any transactions which have happened, which is suspected to be or suspicious in nature. So transnational financial crimes will be tackled by this silver notice. What if this is what we can understand as of now? Details we will see. Then we will be dealing with the MCQs based on these two topics and discussing the answers to the MCQs of Friday. Saturday there were no MCQs. So yes, Friday MCQs will be discussed. Now the Southern California wildfires. So in January 2025, these wildfires, have impacted America. Los Angeles is that place which has been, facing some of the most destructive wildfires in recent history. These fires have been given various names: Palisades Fire, Eaton Fire, Sunset Fire, Hearst Fire, and Lydia Fire. And they have claimed 10 lives, forced over 130,000 people to evacuate, and destroyed many homes, including those of high profile celebrities like Paris Hilton, Adam Brody, Billy Crystal, and all. Today morning, I was watching a post, and a person who was also, he was a child actor in Hollywood and he suffered with autism. He has lost his life. So these wildfires are dangerous, I would say. Now, what makes these wildfires particularly alarming is that they are happening in winter, a time not typically associated with wildfires in California. So why they are happening in winter? What is it that we need to understand and know? Okay. Now, key factors behind the severity of these winds. So there are three key factors behind the severity of these winds. First is, these wildfires. First is wet weather followed by extremely dry conditions. Now, the winter is extremely dry, but the winter of 2022 and 2023, this was extremely wet. And this extremely wet winter of the preceding 2 years enabled growth of lot of vegetation in that region. And vegetation acts like fuel to the wildfires because these wildfires will spread and burn the vegetation that will increase the severity. This year it is dry, extremely dry. So this has led to spread of these wildfires and increasing in severity of these wildfires. The dry winter of 2024 has been exceptionally dry. Okay. This means the vegetation that grew during the wet seasons has now dried out completely, creating highly flammable kindling for the wildfires. Dry vegetation is much more susceptible to burning, helping fires spread faster. The rainfall statistics of that region, according to NASA, the Southern California has received very little rain since October 2024. Daniel Swain, a climate scientist, stated that this winter has seen the driest start to the water year on record. So for example, Los Angeles airport recorded just 0.03 inches of rain since October 1, making it the driest start in the National Weather Service records since 1944. So yes, this dry weather is leading to drying the vegetation. Dry vegetation acts like, a fuel to the wildfires. Now the role of Santa Ana winds, second factor. Santa Ana winds we covered a few days ago. These are local winds which blow from the inner region of the western coast of America towards the coast. These are Diablo winds over here, and these are Santa Ana winds over here. Okay. There is this high pressure created over here due to winter. Temperature is low. And yes, comparatively on the coastline, the pressure is low pressure due to relatively high temperatures. Now this pressure gradient has been created, and this is making these Santa Ana winds blow. These Santa Ana winds are acting like uh, I would say a push to these fires to spread. So the Santa Ana winds are strong, dry winds that blow across Southern California from October to January. These winds occur when high pressure systems in the Great Basin Desert is somewhere here, create a clockwise circulation which pushes the dry air towards the coast. And they are common in this season, but yes, this year the intensity of these winds is high. How Santa Ana winds impact the wildfires? So they blow across the Sierra Nevada and Santa Ana mountains. They pick up speed and dry out, becoming hot and fast moving. Once they reach the Southern California, they carry flames across the region, helping the fire spread quickly. These winds also dry out the vegetation even more, making the forest, grasslands, and shrubs more flammable. So, since these are dry winds, so whatever moisture has been left in the vegetation, that also is dried up, and dry vegetation leads to you know fuel for wildfires. The intensity of these winds have been strong. The strong Santa Ana winds have been crucial in the spread of current wildfires, and they combined with dry vegetation have allowed flames to spread quickly across the populated regions like Hollywood Hills and Los Angeles, making it difficult for firefighters to keep up. Everyone is trying very hard. Evacuations have happened, but yes, nothing, I would say, concrete has happened till now for the containment of these wildfires. The third is impact of climate change. So the global warming and wildfires, how they are connected. So experts have agreed that climate change is contributing to the growing frequency and intensity of wildfires globally, whether it be in the Arctic or it be here in the subarctic region. In California, rising global temperatures are causing warmer springs and summers and triggering early snowmelt in the mountains. These conditions extend the fire season and increase the opportunities for wildfires to ignite and spread. This is how they are connected. There are longer wildfire seasons. 2021 study in Nature Scientific Reports found that California's wildfire season has grown longer in recent decades. The study showed that annual wildfire season has lengthened by several weeks over the past 20 years, with the peak fire season shifting from August to July. And this is largely due to warmer temperature and early snowmelt, which results into drier conditions. Unfortunately, the current president of USA does not acknowledge global warming or climate change. According to the president, Mr. Donald Trump, climate change is a hoax. But yes, climate change is impacting his country. There are more intense fires due to warmer temperatures and the long dry seasons, and they're more intense as well. So this global warming is I would say leading to extreme weather events. Climate change is causing more extreme weather events, and California's wildfires are part of this global trend. The growing threat of wildfires due to climate change has placed additional pressure on firefighting efforts as fires grow larger, more frequent, and harder to control. So This is there. So why are these, fires so dangerous? So there are basically three reasons. Rapid spread. Santa Ana winds are making them spread rapidly. They're difficult to control. They have spread so rapidly with such intensity that firefighters have struggled to keep up. As a result, over 1,30,000 people have been forced to evacuate from the affected areas. And it is causing severe, I would say, or very high risk to health and safety. The thick smoke from the fires has contributed to poor air quality, impacting the health of residents and firefighters in the area. And the scale of disaster has also put immense pressure on emergency services and complicated the rescue operations. So, all these are there. But yes, one thing which is being used is pink fire retardants. So, planes and helicopters drop large amount of pink fire retardants. Color has been added to it so that, visibility of that fire retardant is there. Okay. Now, what is it? The composition is ammonium phosphate. There's a company called as Phosgene, or in the name of Phosgene, this comes. These chemicals help stop the spread of fires by coating the plants and making it harder for the fires to burn by limiting the oxygen they need to sustain. So this is on the plants it is sprayed. So let's suppose wildfires is coming towards those plants. So when this pink phosphate or this pink fire retardant is sprayed on it, then it would be difficult for those plants to get burnt. Now, what will this do? This will contain the spread or slow down the spread of the wildfires, giving the firefighters more time and accurate places to, douse the fire. This is what fire retardants are doing it. Why is it pink? Pink color is added to make the fire retardant visible. That is it. This helps firefighters see where the retardant has been dropped and plan their next steps in firefighting the fire. How pink fire retardants work? So fire suppression, pink fire retardant is sprayed ahead of the fire to coat vegetation, slowing the fire's progress. Told you this. By creating a barrier, it gives firefighters time to manage the fire. While the fire retardants does help slow down fires, its effectiveness is unclear. Studies show that its success depends on factors such as weather, terrain, and vegetation also. The US Forest Service study found that the conditions where retardants work best are becoming rarer due to climate change. So, its effectivity is also becoming a big question, that is due to climate change. The difficulty in measuring success, since fire retardants are used along with other firefighting methods, it's hard to measure how much of difference they actually make in putting out the fire. So, this is what we need to understand. We have a retardant, but its effectivity is a big question. Now, environmental concerns. Obviously, this fire eventually it will go down, it will douse off. But what kind of environmental impacts it is creating? First is toxicity of heavy metals. So pink fire contains chromium and cadmium also, two heavy metals linked to cancer and damage to kidneys and liver. So if they are sprayed too much on the vegetation, obviously that is linked to through the food chain to humans also. So there can be increased exposure to humans of these two, chemicals. So 2024 study by the University of Southern California found that 8,50,000 pounds of these toxic metals have been released into the environment since 2009. And through the food chain, they might be entering the humans' bodies in some way or the other, creating a problems for the humans. Then harm to aquatic life. When fire retardants wash into the rivers and streams, the heavy metals can harm or kill fish and other aquatic life. These chemicals disrupt ecosystems and can also affect water quality, making the water unsafe for both wildlife and the humans to consume. So yes, I would not say have a perfect solution for containing those wildfires. That solution is also not, 100% foolproof. There is this pink fire retardants, and that is having environmental concerns also. This is what we need to know. Soil and long-term pollution. Fire retardants can also impact the soil. Chemicals can seep into the ground and remain there for years, harming the plants and soil health. They can also lead to algal blooms in water, further polluting the environment. So, phosphate and all are macronutrients required by the, vegetation, flora, that can lead to algal blooms as well. Now, the ongoing environmental damage, fire retardants don't break down quickly. So, we cannot expect them to decompose or, vanish off. Meaning they stay in the environment, continuing to pollute the soil and water. From 2009 to 2021, over 450 million gallons of fire retardants were used across US, releasing more than 4,000 tons of heavy metals into the environment. And this has created, or this will create problems, because yes, eventually it will be there in the food chain, and flora, fauna both will be consuming these carcinogenic, I would say, elements. Carcinogenic means cancer causing. So there is, first of all, there is a concern, that is the wildfire. Then the way to control the wildfire is also environmentally concerning. So this is what we have, and let's see how it gets controlled. But yes, let's now move on to the next topic, that is silver notice of Interpol. So Interpol has issued first ever silver notice to help trace illicit assets that have been moved across borders. Illicit assets that have been moved across borders. Now, this new type of notice is part of a pilot project that involves 52 countries. India is one of these 52 countries, okay, which aims to locate and recover the hidden wealth of criminals involved in serious offenses like corruption, fraud, and drug trafficking. These kind of crimes are on the rise, so we need to take care of it. But yes, before moving ahead, let us know the details about Interpol. We've been talking about Interpol a lot in the previous videos. Bharat Pol jab humne kiya, to we talked about Interpol. Now, basics of Interpol. What is Interpol? It is an international organization which is facilitating international police. It is not police in itself. It does not have the powers to arrest. It only facilitates policing. It is in connect with a national central bureau in every country. So, for example, National Central Bureau in India is CBI. So, it will pass on the information to CBI. CBI will do the necessary arrest or take necessary actions over here in India, and likewise in every country, in every member country. So, it tackles, or it facilitates international policing with respect to terrorism, trafficking, and other crimes. All decisions regarding the activities of Interpol are made by the General Assembly, which is its supreme governing body, which meets annually. And part of the General Assembly is all the members of Interpol. Is it under United Nations? So it is not a unit or part of United Nations system. It is an independent international organization which is headquartered in Lyon in France, and it was founded in the year 1923. That time United Nations organization was not formed also. So these are the basics which you need to know about it. Now, I said silver notice. The Interpol issues various color coded notices. Now, it already issued 8 types of notices, and this silver notice is the 9th one. So let us look at what were the types of notices. Like if Interpol has issued red notice against any person, so to seek the location and arrest of a person, this red notice simply means this: wanted by a judicial jurisdiction or an international tribunal with a view to his/her extradition. It is the closest instrument to an international arrest warrant. So if red notice is issued for any individual, then it becomes a liability on the member countries of Interpol to arrest that person and hand over that person to the judicial jurisdiction which is wanting its arrest. Blue notice: to locate, identify, or obtain information on a person of interest in a criminal investigation. So if in a criminal investigation information about a person is required, then blue notice is issued, and it becomes I would say mandatory for the respective governments to give information about that person. Green notice: to warn about person's criminal activities if that person is considered to be a possible threat to public safety. Yellow notice: to locate a missing person or to identify a person unable to identify himself or herself. Black notice: to seek information on unidentified bodies. Orange notice to warn of an event, a person or an object or a process representing an imminent threat and danger to persons or property. Purple notice to provide information on modus operandi means methods of operation, procedures, objects, devices or hiding places used by criminals. Last is Interpol UNSC special notice. Black notice also it is called as, to inform Interpol's members that an individual or an entity is subject to UN sanctions. So these were the already existing 8 color coded notices, and silver notice has become the 9th color coded notice. So it is a new tool introduced by Interpol to locate assets linked to criminal activities. So let's suppose someone has done money laundering and created some property. So information with respect to that will be shared. This includes properties, vehicles, businesses, and financial accounts that have been illegally moved to other countries to hide them, especially in tax havens. Tax haven countries are those countries where taxation is comparatively relaxed. The silver notice allows countries to request information from other nations to help track down these assets. It will help locate and identify wealth linked to crimes such as fraud, corruption, drug trafficking, and environmental crimes. And countries can use this information to make formal requests for seizure, confiscation, or recovery of these assets which have been created by doing such kind of criminal activities. And it will specifically focus on criminal assets and is part of the broader system of notices. Means those 8 color notices, this silver notice is going to be part of that, means it is going to be the 9th one. First use of silver notice has been requested by Italy. Okay. So Italy asked Interpol to help trace the assets of a senior mafia member who had hidden wealth abroad. This marks the beginning of the silver notice's use in international crime fighting. Why is this important for India? So India definitely is part of 52 countries which are there part of this pilot project. And these kind of crimes are quite common in India: money laundering, drug trafficking, and all. And many people have created such kind of assets. So India has several fugitive economic offenders who are believed to have moved illicit wealth outside the country. The silver notice can help trace and recover these assets, which could be used to bring these criminals to justice. So definitely it is very much important for India. Now, talking about this pilot project of which 52 countries are part of it, so it will run at least till November 2025, allowing countries to request a total of 500 silver notices. The first has been requested by Italy. These requests will be divided equally among the participant nations. Interpol will carefully review each silver notice to make sure that it is not misused for political purposes. It should be actually there. Political motivations and all should not be there. For now, details of the notices won't be made public, ensuring that the sensitive information remains confidential. But yes, we have certain, I would say, um things to know about it more, that how will it work. Now, countries involved in this project can request about the assets linked to the criminals who have committed, serious offenses and created such kind of assets. Serious offenses like drug trafficking, human trafficking, economic frauds, money laundering, and such like. Silver notice can also be used to locate hidden assets in foreign countries and may lead to efforts to seize or recover these assets. They can use the information for bilateral engagement, which means they can work together to request the seizure or confiscation of these assets, depending upon each country's laws. Now, the bigger picture, why silver notice matters specifically for us. So, this is going to be a powerful new tool which is going to increase coordination on, information sharing with respect to financial assets created by the criminals. And these kind of, I would say, activities, transnational crimes, they are posing a threat. Like, for example, transnational organized crimes like drug trafficking or human trafficking, they are being used to fund the terrorist activities. So indirectly or directly, they can be linked to terrorism as well. So yes, we need to target these financial assets. By targeting them, it aims to weaken the criminal networks, many of which will rely on illegal profits they make from money laundering and other serious crimes. 99% of criminal assets are currently unrecovered, And this new notice system is designed to make it easier to track down these funds. For countries like India, where black money and economic offenders are major issues, silver notice presents a strong step forward. Definitely, it is going to have a very positive impact on India. This is what we can expect from this. But let's see for which people we issue, because 500 silver notices has to be issued and it will be spread equally among all the 52 members. So roughly 8 to 10 silver notices we'll get to issue. So let's see. We'll be covering, for which person we have issued silver notices, what were the crimes and all. Now, coming to the MCQs, which of these winds are associated with the ongoing wildfires in USA? Chinook, Santa Ana, Northern, or Sirocco? Simple question it is. Second, which of these factors are responsible for the ongoing wildfires in California region? Increased intensity of offshore local winds, climate change, or wet winter? Only one and two, only one, or all of the above. Third, which chemical composition is found in pink fire retardants? Ammonium nitrate, ammonium nitrogen, or ammonium phosphate? Fourth, consider the following statements about Interpol and mark the correct one. Interpol is a body under United Nations. It is headquartered in Paris. And last question, consider the following statements with respect to silver notice and mark the correct one. Silver notice is a new tool introduced by Interpol to locate assets linked to criminal activities. Italy is the first country to request the issue of silver notice. I think it is also relatively simple. Only one, only two, both one and two, or neither one, neither nor two. Now discussing the answers to MCQs of 10th of January. Consider the following objectives of product linked incentive scheme and mark the correct one. Product linked incentive scheme, let me remind you, is a scheme which is launched by the government of India to give incentives to the producers or manufacturers. And this incentive will be indexed to the amount of production done by them. If they surpass that threshold, then those incentives will be given. These incentives can be in the form of tax rebates, in the form of discounts on raw materials and such like, direct transfers also. So achieve Atmanirbharta. Yes, how production linked incentive scheme will help achieve Atmanirbharta? Because productivity will increase. And since productivity will increase, the dependency on other countries will reduce. Increased production capacities will be there, obviously. That is only creating Atmanirbharta. So both of these are correct. So both 1 and 2 are going to be the correct option over here. Second, which steel grade is used in the power transformers? So this is, very simple, straightforward, fact-based question. It is cold rolled grain oriented steel, CRGO. High strength wear resistant steel, no. Electrical steels, no. None of the above. It is not used. Which of these countries is a founding member of BRICS? So this was kind of, a trick question. And if you guys are thinking none of the above, then that is going to be the wrong answer. UAE and Ethiopia have joined in 2024. South Africa has joined in 2010. But BRICS, this organization was formed in 2009 by Brazil, Russia, India, and China. So, South Africa is not the option, UAE is not the option, Ethiopia is not the option. Sorry, none of the above is the correct option, correct answer over here. Okay. So, those who were thinking none of the above, you were thinking in the right direction. Sorry. Fourth, which of the following can be the consequences of Indonesia joining BRICS? So, Indonesia has become the fifth new entrant after BRICS, and UAE, Iran, Ethiopia, Egypt. So, fifth entrance is Indonesia. So it will increase trade with BRICS countries. Yes, it is, commonsensical. Increased access to financing. Yes, through NDB. It will be there. Increased palm oil exports from Indonesia to the BRICS countries. Yes, this will also happen. Hence, all of the above are going to be the answer to this particular question. That is the D option. Now, with this, we have come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. Keep studying, keep reading, keep writing, and most importantly, keep revising. Namaste. Jai Hind.